Larissa, you want to start recording? Perfect. So we do want to let you know that we are recording this presentation. It will be on our YouTube channel, and you'll be able to access it in the future if you would like to review and just get some additional information to help you feel comfortable for next week, Wednesday. So thank you all so much for joining us. My name is Caitlin Dice, and I'm the Assistant Director for Employer Development and Relations. I'm going to be facilitating this demo day presentation for y'all today. I do want to share our agenda, so we're going to have you meet our team that is on the call today. We're going to talk a little bit about Microsoft Teams and what to expect. We're going to talk about how you are going to access Microsoft Teams and then how to engage with employers. We do want to let you know at any time if you have questions, please use the chat. You can raise your hand, you can give us a thumbs up, whatever it is to get your attention or to get our attention, and we're happy to answer any of those questions for you. So I want to get started. I already introduced myself. I'm going to have Donnell Prince introduce herself. Go ahead, Donnell.
Hi, everybody. My name is Donnell Prince, and I'm the recruiting manager for the Employer Development and Relations team. So I work closely with our employers and helping them to get engaged as students and provide employment opportunities. So we're so glad to have you guys.
Thanks, Donnell. Larissa?
I'm muted. Okay, hi everybody. My name is Larissa, and I am the recruiting coordinator for the EDR team. And I'm really excited to have you here today for you to learn all the good things that we're going to do next week. And for you to, I'm really excited for you to meet the employers. It's going to be a great event. So thank you for being here today.
Thanks, Larissa. And then we have our two career counselors that I'm going to have introduce themselves. You have probably received emails from them, and they've been super instrumental in getting our students connected. So Adalia, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. My name is Adalia Espinosa. You have been getting some emails from me, and so hopefully those have been helpful. I serve the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences, and am one of the pre-law advisors as well.
All right, thank you. Jamie?
Hi, Jamie Gonzalez. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm also a career counselor that supports College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences and a pre-law advisor as well. And we'll be one of the two career counselors that'll be there to assist in one of the channels that we'll be talking about and you'll learn more about later. Yeah, glad to see you here.
Thanks, Jamie. And I think, did we have Lauren on the call as well? Lauren, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm a career counselor as well. I work with students in hotel and restaurant management, architecture, and exploratory studies. And excited for you all to have a really, really great event next week.
I think that's all of our team. Am I good? Okay, cool. I think that's all of our team that's on the call today. So thank you all for introducing yourselves. I do want to start before we begin. We have two goals for you today. So as I mentioned in the beginning, we want you to feel comfortable using Microsoft Teams, and then we want to help you identify ways to engage and network with employers. That's really what a career fair is about, and so we're really excited to share with you some of those opportunities. We do want to do a little bit of engagement though, so I would love for you to open up that chat feature. If you have not used if you have not used Zoom before, scroll down near the bottom and you'll see a tab that comes up along the bottom. Search for the chat box, and I would love to know, and if you could share with us your name, major, and classification. We'd love to know who's here. So you want to go ahead and take a second to do that. We'd love to hear from you. And if we have any May 2020 graduates, we'd love to give you a little shout out and celebrate you. So feel free to share any of that with us if anybody was a May 2020 graduate.
We do have some recent graduates, so.
Excellent. You want to give them a little shout out?
Yes, I didn't know if you were going to.
Yeah, let's give them a shout out.
Yeah, congratulations to all of our May graduates. I'm so excited. I know it's different, but it's still very exciting. So congratulations to all of you for this really big milestone. So yeah.
Great. All right, so keep that coming. We do want to let you know, so now you know how to use the chat. You may have used it before. We want you to just feel comfortable to ask any of our team questions, so that is going to be that space. You can also unmute yourself and just kind of yell to us. That also works as well. Or raise your hand, do the thumbs up, whatever it would be to get our team's attention. But really, we want to make sure that you feel comfortable for Wednesday. So that is our goal today. All right. So before we jump in, or as we jump in, We want to start off by letting you know a little bit about Microsoft Teams. Let's go ahead and use the reaction tool. And so if you've used Microsoft Teams before, give us a thumbs up or do the high five. And so if you scroll over the same area before by the chat, there's gonna be something called reactions. And you can give us a thumbs up, a high five, whatever it would be. We would love to know if you have used Microsoft Teams before. And if you have not, no worries. That is what our goal today is to make sure you feel comfortable. Excellent. So I think some of you have, which is great. So this will be pretty, natural for you. The cool thing about what we're doing is we're using the platform, but we're using it with a twist. So what that means is that we're using it to host virtual networking events and recruiting events. So some of the things you may be using in your class, we're using those tools, but we're adapting them a little bit. And so this is super innovative, and we're really excited to share it with you today. We do want to share first our privacy notice. So for those of you that are familiar with Microsoft Teams, you do know that it is a public platform. So meaning that anything you post on there, anyone will be able to see. We do want to let you know that the messages and comments in the channel, which we're going to show you, are public. We don't want you to share any private or personal information within the channel. Additionally, messages and videos in the chat feature are going to be private, so you can have personal conversations with employers, and we'll show you what that looks like in a little bit. We do want to let you know two pieces of information. If at any time you feel uncomfortable or that a conversation is not professionally oriented, we ask that you stop the conversation immediately and report it to our student help desk. And I will show you where that is located within the platform. We just want you to know that please let us know if there's anything that happens that makes you uncomfortable. Secondly, we do want to share also that if we find any students that are not having professionally oriented conversations or career oriented, we will reach out to you, ask you to stop, but if it does continue, we will remove you from the platform. So we just want to make that very clear for everybody. This is a different type of environment, and with being virtual, there are different aspects that can come up. So please just note this. I apologize, the name under the exclamation point is wrong. We did this similar presentation for an event that we had this week. So please know that these are all going to be the same expectations for you. And we also share this with our employers as well. So jumping into the platform, this is what it looks like. You may say, that's it. It may look a little empty right now, but I promise as soon as we get in the morning and the whole day, you are going to see it build up with a lot of really cool information and a lot of really great conversations. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through 3 specific sections. This is going to be for those of you that have never used Microsoft Teams before. This is going to be new information for you. For those that have used it before, you may say, oh yeah, I know those sections. But we just ask that you kind of follow along. If you have questions, this is really the time to ask those. So that first section within the Teams platform is going to be our navigation panel. And there's 4 kind of things. You may have a few other ones that show up as a student, but primarily what you're going to see is the activity, which is going to be your feed. So that little bell, you'll get a ding every time somebody engages with you or responds to something. If an employer reaches out and wants to have a private text chat or a video chat, you will see the chat section there on the left-hand side, and you'll get a notification similar to what you see on the right. The third one down is how you get into the actual Teams main site. And then the fourth one, the files, is going to show any file that's uploaded within the team. So some employers may choose to upload their job postings. They may upload an About Us, so you can do a little bit more research. All of that will be housed in the Files section. On the right-hand side, you can see those specific sections with the notification. That's what's going to look like when you get a message from an employer or when there's activity that is surrounding something that you have added to the platform. So that first section is our navigation panel. The second section is going to be the actual channels. I know this looks kind of small, but I wanted you to see what it completely looks like. We have built the channel for the event that is next week, and this is actually what it will look like. So you will be able to see the general channel and the student help desk. The other 2 that have those little, their locks, you will not see those. Those are for our team to engage with each other as well as the employers. So that's why they have those little locks on there. But all those other employers that are listed below there, you will see all of those, and those are called channels. And so what you will be able to do as soon as you get into the platform, our first suggestion is for you to go to the student help desk. But after that, you will be able to go into each of those channels. Pretend that it's like you walk into a career fair and you do like a loop. You walk around the whole career fair to check everything out before you go talk to an employer. That's what we recommend. So go into each of those channels, see what branding and what things they've added to engage with you. And if you find one that you're interested in, that's really going to be when you start engaging. And so we have our navigation panel, we have the channels, and then once you click into a channel, you will see something similar to this. So you're going to see their engagement that they had with you. I'm going to go back one more slide. I forgot this one. So our channels that we have here, when we break it down and get a little bit closer, I do want to let you know a few things. So you will see that general channel. It's going to be visible to you, but you won't be able to add anything in there. We do want you to start at the student help desk. And so we're going to provide some really great information in there to help you feel comfortable. So start there. Pretend it's as if it's the registration desk when you walk up to a career fair and we check you in. We want you to go there first. And then you're able to kind of explore and go through there. You'll see all the company channels that are listed. And what we've done for you is add their active times. And so what that means is that that recruiter has told us they will be there from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. to engage with you. So that example with Beaumont ISD, their active time is 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. But if you scroll down and you look at Herc Rentals, they're only going to be there from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. and 2 to 3:30 p.m. So we want you to really take note of those active times. That means that there's physically going to be somebody behind a screen waiting to talk with you in that channel. If you go to Herc Rentals at noon or 12 p.m., no one is going to be there. Okay, so we want to make sure that that's super clear. We've done this because, one, it provides the employer an opportunity to still work during the day if they need to take some of that time. We also don't want you to be typing and posting and trying to engage with someone not there. We try to do this to make everything really clear. So then we go into the actual channel site, and a few things to know. So click into that company, you're going to see that those sections along the top, that green oval that you see there, that section is called our tabs, T-A-B-S. And our team is going to add in some of those tabs for you to engage with the employer, and the employer may add a few things up there as well. So please note that green section. We'll talk about that in a second. And then the section down low, that is the blue kind of oval that's there. Those are called your tools. And that's really how you're going to engage in the platform. You can post messages, you can type things, you can change the color of things. We had some students that shared their LinkedIn URL. You're more than welcome to do that. What we do want to remind you of, though, is again going back to that public relation, or how the channel is public. We do not want you posting your resume in the channel. And the reason for that is that has your private information on it. It may have your phone number, has a lot of other different things. So please do not post your resume in the channel. You will be able to submit it through the form, which is one of those tabs up at the top. And we'll talk about that in a little bit, but just wanted to reiterate, we want to make sure that we don't post our resume in the actual channel because everybody will be able to see it. Okay, so I'm going to pause here to see if we have any questions, or if any of the counselors feel that they want to add anything in. Do we have any questions?
No questions right now.
No questions. Okay, cool. So we're doing good. Great. So again, this is what it's going to look like. You'll be able to go into those different channels and chat with the different employers, and you have their active time, so you know when they are going to be there. Okay. So we are going to transition on to our next section. And this is how to access Teams. So this looks like a lot of information, but really what I want you to know is number 2. Number 2 states that you will be emailed the team code at 8:30 a.m. on Wednesday. And so what that means is that you will get a physical code that says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're going to go into where it says number 3. You log into Teams, you click join or create a team. It pulls up where that arrow says, you enter that code where it says enter code, and you click join team and you are in. If you do not have Teams downloaded, you can get that information on the UHIT website. It's also located there as well. You just type UHIT Microsoft Teams, you will get the access information to download it. It's completely free. So the University of Houston provides you access to Office 365 products, including Microsoft Teams for free. And so that's ultimately why we chose to use this platform. All of our students have access to it, and it's quite easy to get in. What we do want to let you know is you have to authenticate and use your CougarNet ID. So the same thing you would use to log into your Access UH, you would use that to download Microsoft Teams and then get into the platform. If you have questions about this, this is where our team is going to be available to help you. But this was really the only kind of tricky part for everybody when we did the event last week, Wednesday. We just want to make sure that we're kind of being clear on that. And if you have questions, please feel free to reach out. Are there any questions about that right now? No? Okay, cool. So we'll move on. We wanted to provide you the top 5 tips. Oh, I think I just see it.
And Caitlin, real quick, just like Caitlin mentioned earlier, you are going to focus on number 2. You are going to be getting that code from me at 8:30 promptly on the day of the event. And so that will give you access to enter it, but the event won't start at 9. So just be super aware of that. But just so that you know, and to be ready at 8:30 on the day of.
Yes, thank you for reminding me. That I was supposed to say that underline part. That's why I underlined it. We want you to be prepared. So that means go to that student support desk channel, ask any questions there. If you want to post your introduction or your video, which we'll talk about in a little bit, and have our career counselors give feedback, we will be there. But just know that our employers will be logging on at 9 a.m. I do see a question there about how to download Microsoft Teams. We will make sure, so Adalia sent out a message, what was that, yesterday, Adalia? Thursday? Yeah. Did you have the instructions in there?
Not the instructions, those will be going out on the morning of, but the instructions are also right here. You can download following that website. And then just like Caitlin was mentioning earlier about using the IT website.
Hey, Donna, will you, thank you, Jamie. If you want to go ahead, and there's the link right there. So you go ahead and download that. That's perfect. Thank you all.
Perfect.
Great question. Okay. So our top 5 tips, based off some things that we've heard from our students and from our employers, we want to make sure that you are set to be really successful on Wednesday, okay? So I'm going to go through each of these and give you a little bit of information about each one. But please keep in mind, these are things that we highly recommend that you do in order to be successful. So the first one, the first thing we want you to do as soon as you get into the platform is go to the student support desk. There's 3 things that this is really going to provide for you. Number 1, you will see in there the list of all the employers that are participating and what they are hiring for. I want you to know that every employer that is participating in this event on Wednesday is actively hiring. So we did not want to put any employers out there that are just trying to spread awareness or advertise their company. They need to actively be hiring because we wanted to get you all those opportunities. And so we want you to know specifically what they are hiring for. Because what we is for you to ask them the question, what are you hiring? Or what are you looking for, those types of things, because we're going to provide it to you. You're going to know exactly what's available. So that help you have an intended conversation with that employer. Number 2 that's listed there, we are going to provide you examples of how to introduce yourself if you need any of those, and then also provide you additional tips for engaging with employers. We learned a few things from our event that we had last week, Wednesday, and so we'll be putting in different things to help guide you and just give you a little bit more information. Lastly, that third one, you can get your questions answered by a career counselor. So Jamie and Adalia are going to be in the student support desk, able to provide you any support that you may need, or a little confidence boost. Because we know that this is new, we may not necessarily feel comfortable or just navigating it, so please come chat with us there. We do want to give you this little reminder, just in case an employer wants to video chat with you, we would recommend that you dress in business professional attire. I'm going to recommend top and bottom, just in case. That is your preference, though, so I would recommend a suit if you feel comfortable for that. Additionally, have your resume in a PDF. We do not want to have Word documents. That doesn't really work super well within Microsoft Teams, so have your resume saved as a PDF. And then we really want you to research the participating companies. So that goes back to that number 1 that's listed there. We are going to have a list. You've also gotten that list in some of those emails that Adalia has sent, but we will have a final one listed in the student support desk for you. Adalia, Jamie, anything else you want to add around the student support desk? Okay, perfect. So now we're going to jump in. I'm going to go over this briefly, and then Adalia is going to share with us a specific example. But what we really, really recommend is for you to do an introduction. Some of you have heard about a pitch, a 30-second me, anything that you want to call it, an introduction. We want you to have an introduction that you add to each channel you interact with. So you won't just post it once, you're going to post it in every channel, as if you're walking up to them and introducing yourself. So you really have two options depending on how you feel. If you're comfortable, we would highly, highly recommend a video introduction. That's just a really great way to engage with an employer. But if you're more comfortable, you can also do a text. So I have two examples there. I know that that text introduction is kind of small, but I really thought the student did a really great job of doing their introduction. And then we also have an example of a video introduction. This is one of our career counselors who has done some really great work in working on your pitch, and she posted hers. So we really, really highly recommend the introduction. I don't want to say require, because we can't require you to do anything, but we found that the students that posted text introductions or video introductions got really great engagement with employers. So we want to provide you that feedback and really encourage you to do that. So Adalia has an example. So we had a student that did one this past week on Wednesday, and the employers loved her video. They gave her a lot of really great feedback. So I'm gonna stop sharing for a second, and Adalia is gonna take over.
Thank you, Caitlin. Yeah, so, this platform is very much quiet in a sense. And so you really want to express yourself and show that personality. And so this is a really great example that I'd love to share. So you should be able to see, this is a young lady named Ariel. And so this is a nice example for you to start off with. So I'll play that. And if you do need extra support on what language to say, feel free to use our elevator pitch resource, which is page 20 on our COOG workbook, which can be found on the website. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. It's nice and short. It's 46 seconds long. So I want you to see how she really succinctly and clearly explained her pitch, but also shows a little bit of her personality as well. All right, here we go.
Hi, my name is Ariel Selzer, and I am graduating this summer with a degree in public relations and a minor in psychology at the University of Houston. While attending U of H, I've been interning at Baylor College of Medicine for the Houston AIDS Education and Training Center, and have learned hands-on about social media, campaigns, and proposals. I assumed a leadership role through my work previously at Hand and Stone Spa as the lead spa associate. I believe that I would be an ideal candidate for this position because I have been praised for being dependable, a strong speaker, creative, organized, and that I work well under pressure. I believe that I can add value to this organization due to my abilities to communicate well and easily adapt to all situations.
All right, so she kept it short, and it was a really great way for her to show who she is, what her major, her minor is, a little brief explanation of her past experiences and what she's highly interested in doing and pursuing. So I would highly recommend keep it nice and short, 30 seconds. She did 46 seconds. Keep it under a minute. And then uploading it to the channel, it's as if you're walking up to a booth and it can be easily clicked. I also wrote her on the side and let her know, add a little caption that says, "Hi, my name is Ariel. Below is my introduction." That way people know what the video is as well. So highly recommend doing that.
Thank you, Adalia.
The link or the page that Adalia was referring to, I put in the chat, and so that way that you can save it for later.
Perfect. Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you. All right. Am I back on the slide deck? I think I am, right? Yes. Okay, I wasn't getting anything. Okay, so we're going to the next section. So we talked about the video. So we have a quick question from Hannah. Do you have to record the videos? Great question. Adalia, you want to speak to that?
Yeah, I will. You don't have to record it through Teams. You can record it on your cell phone, on your laptop, save it, and then upload it as an MP4 or whatever format works for your computer. But keep it under 30 seconds, but it is definitely user-friendly.
Great, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so moving on to our next section. So we talked about your introduction. We really, really recommend that, either text or a video introduction. The second thing is we want you to check the tabs that are within each channel and do your research. And so I've circled this green section here. You can click into the About Us, and it's going to pull up a section that the employer has wanted to provide to you. It's basically so you don't have to go do the research. They're giving you the information about their company. And so we would highly recommend that you go to the About Us tab, visit their website, and then that last tab is called Submit Your Resume. And so this is an example of a screenshot of what we did for our event this past week. But what it's going to pull up a form. You will click the name of that company. You will attach your resume, and you will click Submit. And here's the cool thing. It goes in real time to that employer's email address. So it's as if you were giving your resume, but it is a more private approach to that. So again, we don't want to post our resume in the channel. We really want to use the Submit Resume option. We do have a few employers that preferred for us to put their application website instead of the Submit Resume. So you may see that. It still means that they are open and interested in your resume, but instead of getting an email, they wanted it to go into their website so they could collect it that way. So we just want to make sure that that's clear. So introduction, do your research, check the tabs. And then thirdly is to ask questions. There's a lot of information on this slide, and I'm not going to go over all of it. But pretend as if you were, not pretend, you are at a networking event. So I want you to ask some of those networking and career fair related questions. But we wanted to provide a few examples here. We're also going to have these in the student support desk. So if you want a refresher on some of these questions, you're more than welcome to go there. But maybe some of the questions you're asking is, what was your first position in this industry? How long have you been working for, the name of that company? What is the culture like? So again, the same questions that you would be asking at a career fair, you can ask in this event. We do want to note that section there at the bottom, to be mindful that employers are engaging with a lot of students. So the difference when you're at a physical event, you get that one-on-one eye contact and they're focused on you, and you really see the cue or the line of where you're at. For this event, we're not going to see that as much. You're going to lose some of those visual cues. And so what we just ask is that you be patient and understand that that employer may be chatting with other students at that time. And we also want to note that we would encourage you to make sure your question has not already been asked. And so what that means is, as soon as you get into that channel, scroll up a little bit, see what other students have asked, see what the employer has posted in there as part of their branding. And we really just want to remind you of that piece. We don't want to keep asking the same question over and over. But if you find maybe a question that you're interested in and you like that question, you think it's great, you can like it. You can add the little heart emoji if you want to. You can add a GIF if you want to, that is appropriate, to agree with whatever they are asking or whatever is being mentioned. You'll see that box in the right-hand corner. This, to me, is the coolest part about this, is that not only are you able to engage with employers, but we would highly recommend that you engage with each other. This is a collaboration tool. And so what's really cool about that collaboration is, let's say Adalia posts a video, her introduction, and I love it. I think she does a great job, and maybe she mentions and could mention and say, hey, that's a really cool internship. I'd love to know more about that. You can also ask each other questions that may seem different, because normally at a career fair, it's kind of competitive, and you may feel a little competitive when you go in there, but we really want you to know that you can interact with each other, and we do highly recommend it. Okay, do you have any questions, comments?
I have a potential strategy that you can use. So depending on how flexible you are that day, and keeping in mind the active hours of the employers that you're interested in, so say you go into a channel and say that you can tell like it is just like really active. So that might be more competitive for you to stand out if those recruiters are already highly engaged. So if you have other ones, go check out another channel and see if there's one that's going a little slower. And so that's a really great opportunity for you to get some like one-on-one time, or to have like their attention a little bit more. So just be mindful of, if you're feeling overwhelmed in one channel, go visit another one, and then that recruiter, if it's slow, they would appreciate your engagement too. So just keep that in mind.
I love
That is a great tip, Jamie, and I'd love to follow up to that as well. Using that same strategy, if you do get the opportunity to chat with someone who you do get that more one-on-one, or let's say you want more one-on-one with them. I had a student who asked, what can I say to that employer to let them know I'm here, I'm available to do a private video chat to ask more questions. It never hurts for you to just ask, right? Let them know. I have a few more questions. I'd love to chat, and I will be here from this time to this time. That way they can respond and say, cool, let's chat right now. And it's a good opportunity for it to turn into a video call, and you get that screen time now. So we also had a question in the chat again. So where should we upload our video introduction? So if you do record a video introduction and it's appropriate for multiple channels, then you can upload it as you're entering that chat, or that channel, because it's as if you're walking up to them. And so, you'll start to see the engagement, you'll see the conversation. What you're gonna want to do at the very bottom, it'll say start a new post or discussion, and that's where you're gonna insert it. Don't forget your little caption to describe, hi, my name is this, and here's my introduction. And that's a really easy way for them to know, okay, let me click on this so I can read it, and then they can respond directly to your video intro.
And I'll show an example. We're going to jump into the platform as soon as we finish the slide deck. And so we'll actually show you specifically where you would go to update that as well. Good questions, though. All right. So we want to provide you 3 specific things that we would recommend you not say or ask to employers. So the first one is, what positions do you have available? Nope. We want you to do your research, and we want you to check. There's some really great resources that we have. So all these positions are posted in Cougar Pathway. And then again, that student, in the student support desk, you're gonna find that employer list. So we'd highly, highly recommend that you do that. What we were finding on Wednesday is people just kept asking that question. And the employer just kept saying, I don't have that, I don't have that. But what happens if I would have said, hey, I saw on the employer list that you are looking for this position. I'm really interested, could you tell me more about it? If you ask specific questions like that, it's going to show you're really interested and engaged in that employer and what they have available. And so we want to provide you that piece of advice to make sure that you're asking some really great questions. Oh, Jamie, thank you. Jamie, you just added something. You want to tell them what you just added in there?
Yeah, so this is just one of our initial lists of who was coming and their job descriptions. We'll have this specific link update with new PDFs as we get more confirmations. So yeah, if you tag this link and use it, it'll always bring you to our most up-to-date list of recruitment that you can have access. So you can use this long weekend to kind of like research people before the day of. So it'll give you an extra advantage in time.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jamie. So number 2 that's there, we would not recommend that you just say hi or hello. You recognize those are really great introductions, but what we want you to do is say, hi, hello, my name is Caitlin, and go into your introduction or post your intro video, similar to what Adalia said. Put in that little piece, hi, my name is Caitlin, here's my introduction video. That is a really great way to engage. So do not just post hi or hello. We want it to be a little bit more advanced than that. And then the last one, we would not recommend that you ask a question that someone else has already asked. I mentioned this before. Go ahead and scan the channel and look for a response from the employer if you're curious about that question. If you see that it hasn't been asked, go ahead and ask it. And that we just wanted to remind you of that as well. Jamie, Adalia, anything you want to add here?
No, that covers it.
Okay.
The only thing I'll add is really quickly, so something specific that I saw where people were asking about, so the recruiter kept posting, our internships have closed for the summer, our internships have closed for the summer, and so they had to keep saying that. And so I think a way that even if you have a question about internships, you can say, I saw that internships for this summer are closed, but I'm really interested in future ones. So if they hadn't had a chance to talk to other people about future opportunities, you could acknowledge statements that they've said above and said, I saw that this is the case. So that shows that you're paying attention in that, and you're engaged with the conversation beyond just your own post.
I love that, Jamie. That's an excellent point. Excellent point. I think we did have a question. So submit your resume to the companies you're interested in right away or after interacting. I would recommend after interacting, but I don't know. I'll leave that to share that with the counselors. But I would just say I'd want to introduce myself. And then you can also say in there, like, if you're interested, I'm happy to submit my resume to share with you and we can talk about my experiences. Jamie or Adalia, do you want to add in anything?
I don't think there's like a right or a wrong. I think if you are interacting, you could say, I'd love to submit my resume, or I've already submitted my resume. So either one, it's totally up to you, Yasmin, your preference. When you're going to upload it, just know that the way it's been coded in that tab is that you can determine which company you're going to send it to, and it'll directly go to their email.
I think the only thing that I might want to I think I personally would probably save it, because if I had a really good conversation with that employer and they were saying, we are really looking for someone for like communication skills, and that is our priority in this role. And maybe in my resume that I had, I wasn't really highlighting that as much as I could have. I might use that information to go make changes to my resume before I submitted it. So that's just something to consider.
So you can absolutely edit your resume as you do this, save it as a PDF and share with them. That is a wonderful suggestion.
Clutch. Very, very smart.
Very good. All right, so we're gonna move on. So we've talked about this so far, a few other options. This last one here, a public video call. So in our event on Wednesday, both our students and employers loved this aspect. And so what you will see, you'll look for that image, it'll say join a video chat. And so we encourage the employers this morning to have and schedule a video chat so students can come and go. And so I want you to think of it's very similar to what we're doing right now. You'll see everybody's faces, the employer will be talking to you, they'll be able to answer questions. It's more face-to-face interaction than just like that messaging chatting piece. And it's public, so anyone can join. You can also come and go. So let's just say you jump on, you chat with the employer for a little bit, they ask a few questions, you get a really good sense of that employer and what they have to offer, then you can leave and you can go to another one. So it's kind of like you're able to jump around and go where you want to. We do want to add that note that's at the bottom there. Be aware of the time frames. So if it does say that they scheduled something and it started at 10 o'clock, we would ask that you just be respectful. And if it's like 10:15, maybe jump in if you want to, but if it's a scheduled one and it started at a specific time, you can still jump in, but we would recommend that you not ask questions after that point, just because they may have already given that information. And so this just came up with one employer who had a scheduled meeting, and let's just say she started at 10 a.m. She talked from 10 to 10:15, and then a student came on at 10:20 and asked a question that she had already answered around 10:05. And so she just hated having to go back and forth and answer questions like that. And so instead of asking it maybe in the video chat, you could ask it in the channel. And then so maybe they'd be able to respond, and you can say, I saw you had your video chat. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend, but I really had this question and I wanted to know if you could answer it, or I wanted a little bit of feedback on this area. So we do want you to know you can come and go, but again, just be cognizant of asking questions during that time as well. We also want to note the section that's in red, you can also add captions for the video call. So if you need that accommodation, we love that Microsoft Teams has provided that. Okay.
Caitlin, someone is asking, will they be talking to multiple students at the same time when in that public video call?
Yes. So I don't know how many of you see different squares and things like that in our call right now. It's going to look exactly like this. So you'll see everybody if they choose to have their camera on. If they don't, you'll just see their name but yes, it'll be public. Everybody can see what's going on. Everybody can hear everybody. It did not get out of control for the ones that happened before, because I think students either muted themselves or felt comfortable to raise their hand and ask a question. But yes, it'll be public and it's for everyone to be able to see. Good question. I would highly, highly recommend the video calls. I think when we are engaging or in capacity, miss that opportunity to see people's faces and engage in that manner. And I think a lot can be said and you can engage a lot with seeing someone's facial expressions or seeing the excitement of an employer talking about their opportunities. So I would highly recommend the video call. All right. So we have the video call, which is completely public. And then there are options for you to privately chat or video chat with the employers. So we want you to know this. Yes, there's all these public capabilities, but there are also private. And so we talked about that navigation panel that was on the left-hand side. That second one down is called chat. And that is where any of your private chats or your private video calls will be housed. So if you start seeing a notification in that chat section, we would recommend that you would go there and check it out. This is an example of what one may look like. So I was chatting with Larissa. Her name comes up in that section, and I can see that, and it'll list all of those opportunities or all of those people that you're chatting with. And then this main section, you'll see the actual conversation. And so this is where I'm engaging one-on-one with Larissa and asking her questions about her company, or well, in this sense, I was the employer and Larissa was the student, and she would be able to ask questions in this private capacity. So we do want to let you know that there are these capabilities. Sometimes an employer is going to say, hey, I'm going to private chat you, or I'd like to have a private video call. What we did inform the employers is that we'd like them to be brief. It is not the time for an interview. Just because there's other students that are going to be waiting to chat and message with them as well. And so we want you to know that it should not be a super long time. Don't think of it as an interview. It's more of, if you want to think of it as a screening, and just for them to chat privately with you. So I want to make sure that everyone is aware of this. If you are not comfortable to do the private chat or the private video, you can let the employer know. And so really this is up to your level of comfortability with the platform and with engaging in this manner. I think we had a question. Great question. I would say yes. And so the question was, if we submit the resume through Teams, do we still need to do it through Cougar Pathway? I say yes, because the more times they get your resume, the better. And we know that they have identified what opportunities they are recruiting for. And so I recommend submitting it in Cougar Pathway. You can tell them, hey, I submitted it in Cougar Pathway and I submitted it through your channel if you would like to, but it's truly up to you and kind of how you feel like you want to engage. But I say the more, the better. Great question. All right. We have a few more. Oh, that we're done. Okay. I think we're good. I'm going to pause here for a second. Do we have any more questions in general about the platform? Anything we did not answer for you? Things you're expecting to find out about the platform? Additional questions that you may have that have come up after you've participated in this today? You can unmute yourself if you want. Oh yeah, go ahead.
So I was actually on a video call with one of the employers, and the thing was, I don't know if it was like, I think it might be her side, but like the video was like it would pause in between. So it's like I was really trying to like listen, and like they were trying to answer my questions, but it kept like pausing and not pausing, and it was like that was a little bit, like difficult on Microsoft Teams. So yeah.
I don't know whether, yeah, that's a really great point. We have that too sometimes when we have our video calls with our team, and sometimes it's related to the connectivity or the internet of that person. I do think that's a great point. So if that happens, maybe you just say, hey, I'm having trouble understanding you. The video keeps going in and out. So feel free to be transparent about that, just in case if they were to ask you a question and you don't respond, and they're like, well, why didn't she respond to my question? So I would be transparent about that, but thank you for sharing that. So you attended on Wednesday?
Yes.
Okay, do you want to share anything with anybody you attended and kind of what you thought?
Sure. So that was like the first time I had ever used Microsoft Teams. And at first I was a little bit overwhelmed because I was like looking at the different channels and there was like a lot of people engaging. But what helped me was that before the event, I already knew which employers I wanted to specifically talk to. So I was going and targeting those. And I was able to see, oh, this is how people are introducing themselves. So I was kind of using their improved mind, because initially I was just saying hi, but I realized, okay, that's not enough. Let me properly introduce myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, I got the hang of it.
Thank you so much for that feedback. That was wonderful. And I'm so glad that you're able to just kind of see what other folks are doing as well too. And I think that's going to be key for all of us, and to be fully transparent for all. This is new for us, and so we are learning as we go. And so I don't know if some of the stuff in here is new or different for you compared to what you saw on Wednesday, but we've definitely made some updates, and hopefully that makes it a little bit easier. So thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
I think we had a question. So the problem about the webcam not working, that's not a problem at all. You would just either let them know like, hey, my camera's not working. And it really is ultimately up to you regarding going on video. That is your preference. Adalia, were you gonna say something?
I was gonna say, if your webcam isn't working, just like I can stop my video right now, but you can still hear my voice. But I have my work headshot. I would highly recommend, if you have a business attire headshot, or maybe a picture of you on campus where it's still work appropriate, turn that into your profile picture, so that way you can still be on audio, chat with the employer, and that way you still get that conversation with maybe without the picture. And let them know as soon as you jump in, hi, I'd love to connect and talk. My webcam isn't working. And that way you're still a human being. And just a pro tip, if your video isn't on, you want your personality to still show through in the voice call just as much as you would in a video format.
Can I call out Macy really quick, because I love her photo. I don't know. I've never met you, Macy, but that seems very welcoming. You seem very friendly. You're smiling. So I think that's a really great picture in there. So great job with that.
I agree.
Question. I want to know to ask how I use the numbers on the employer flyer. Great question. Adalia, you want to speak to that one?
Sure. The flyer that has those numbers, that is the job post number on Cougar Pathway. So when you're in your profile for Cougar Pathway, you can type in the number itself in order to kind of filter through and see what the job posting is. If you open your email from Thursday, I actually attached a similar flyer that had the job posting type as well as the company logo and their website as well. So that way you can continue doing your research there as well. But yeah, that number, that unique number is for the job posting itself.
Great question. All right, just wanted to see if we had any other questions. If any students want to jump in, you can unmute yourself and ask a question. You can post it in the chat. I'll give a second to see if anybody has any questions. Okay, so I'm gonna ask us to use the reactions one more time. If you feel confident and excited for next week Wednesday, give me the thumbs up, the high five, whatever the clapping hands. Let me see them all come through. Yeah. Excellent. Love the thumbs up. All right. Thank you all so much. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen again, but I'm going to show you the actual platform live. And so as I mentioned this morning, we did the employer demo day. It's the exact same thing. We just did this for employers. And some of them have already jumped in there and branded their channel and added in their logos and a few other things. So I'll highlight those employers. But we're really excited to show this to you. So give me 1 second. Let me pull this up. Sorry, I had to move my screen around. All right. So, can we see my screen? We're good. Okay, excellent. So, as you can see right here in the corner where it says join or create a team, as soon as you get into Teams, you're going to click this, go to this section, and type in the code that Adalia is going to send you the morning of the event. And then you literally click join team, and this icon is going to show up for you. So that is how you're going to get in. You're going to click into here, and you are in. You are in the channel. There's me saying hello to you. So this is the student help desk. And so as Adalia and Jamie mentioned, this is where you're going to go if you need support from our team. We will be adding in some more tabs along the top here over the weekends and over next week before the event, where we'll provide you that list of employers and all that stuff you may need within this channel. So we want to make sure that you know where this is. These ones, as I mentioned, are private, so you will not see these in your platform. That's for the employers to engage with our team, and then this is our team, so that it's easy for us to kind of engage in the platform and not have to go in and out. We decided to create these channels, and it worked really well for us on Wednesday. So I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. There we go. So as you can see, we have all of the employers listed here with their active time. So see how universal processing is bolded? That means that they did something in their channel, which is really great. So if you're on in a channel, you're doing something and you see a bunch of people showing up as bold, you can definitely go in there because that means that there's activity going on. So here's Kira. She has added in a few things about universal processing. And so you're able to see what she has added in here. It looks like they've added some things about their company, and it shows that they have different events that they host to create a strong bond within the company. So that's great. She's talking to us a little bit about the culture of the company, and that would provide you really great information to maybe ask specific questions about. So you could click that link, open up their website, and let's say maybe they do ice cream socials every Friday. That would be really great to say, oh, I logged on to your events page and I saw your ice cream socials. I love ice cream. I think that's a really great way for you to connect with your employees. And really that creates part of that engagement. So that's a really good example. We also have Spectrum of Hope here. I know they added in a few things. So as you can see, they're adding in a little bit about their new Tomball location. She added a YouTube channel where you could click that and you could check out what they've posted on YouTube. Here's a picture of their location and of a new one as well. And so this would be a really great way. So actually, I liked that already. So let me like a different one. So here's their YouTube channel. Let's just say you watched that and you really loved some of the content that they were sharing. You loved that it was their 10-year anniversary. You could give them a thumbs up. You could give it a heart. There's a few, not other ones there, but there's a few other ones. You probably don't want to use the angry face because that's not very friendly. But the smiley face is a good one. The heart one and the thumbs up are really good ways to engage with employers in there. As I mentioned, these are those tabs along the top. So this is the About Us for Spectrum of Hope. So again, we are giving you the information. This is what they want you to know about their company. This is a super great way for you to do the research. Then we have the website that's also listed here. So their website will come up. Sometimes it takes a second or two because again, we're connecting. But you can see their website. So you really don't have to leave the platform to do any of the research and to feel prepared to speak with that employer. So you can jump in here. And then lastly, here's their submit resume option. And just so you can see what this looks like for everybody. Again, here we're in the virtual recruiting event. You're going to type your name. You're going to pick the employer. So I'm with Spectrum of Hope, so I'm going to click them. I'm going to upload a file and click submit. And in real time, as soon as I click submit, it's going to go to that employer's email address. Okay? So I'm going to come back out of here. I'm going to go back up to the student help desk. I'm going to pause us here to see if there are any questions about the actual platform.
Cool. Caitlin, thank you I'm glad you came back to the help desk. We have a question about it. Student Ayushi wants to know, would we introduce ourselves in the student help desk too? The quick answer is no, you don't have to. But I will say it was helpful at the last event when a couple students posted their video introduction or their text introduction. I would also recommend if you're in business professional attire, you can also post a selfie with your introduction. Because that's kind of the place where you can get feedback. You can ask a question. So if you wanted to upload your final introduction and ask like, okay, I think this is my finalized one and I feel good about it, you'll start getting thumbs up from the career counselors or from any students who are also entering that student help desk. So I would tell everyone, float into the student help desk on the regular, just to kind of stay up to date on like what people are doing or what they're asking as well. You'll also find that Jamie and I might be in there sharing some tips, some best practices, things like that. So no, you don't have to, but I'd be open to it because that way we can give you feedback or a confidence boost.
Love that. Great. Okay, I'm going to zoom in really quick. So hopefully this, it might not work. Okay, so see this section down here, as Adalia mentioned, it says start a new conversation. So this is where you're going to go. You're going to type your introduction here, right? And then if I want to attach a video, I can go to attach. Whoop, give it a second. It said no. And then I can click upload from my computer. If you have a OneDrive and you have it saved in your OneDrive, that also works. But you can upload from your computer and then it will directly go into there. And let's just say I wanted to do my introduction. I really like cats, I don't know. I like this penguin. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna click this section over here. It says send. We like to call it the paper airplane. So you can call it that too. You can just whatever you feel comfortable, click the paper airplane as if you're sending it away. And that's all you have to do in order to add it and to have that engagement. There are other things that are down here as well. Just to point out, you can also, if you have something saved in YouTube and you want to add that, you're more than welcome to. These are all apps that are connected to Microsoft Teams. We are not using the other apps. All we're using is just some of the tabs that are up on the top. But if you feel comfortable in any of these things or things you're comfortable using or have used them before, you can explore that. I do want to share one more thing. So just in case you jump into the team and you see that join the meeting now, all you have to do is to click join. I don't have any that are actively going. I think I actually had one person try it. Yeah, so see how it says like meeting ended? It would have had a tab over here that would say join meeting, and all you'd have to do is to click that tab and you would jump in, and it would be similar to kind of how we have our video going on here right now. Okay. Any questions? Sorry, my chat box isn't up anymore. Oh, I think we got some. Okay. So the company was asking for a cover letter in their job posting. Should we submit that with the resume? So in the submit, that's a great question. For the submit resume, you would only be able to upload one document. So if they do ask for a cover letter, put them in one PDF. So you'd have 2 pages, 1 PDF file, and you would upload that. You're not able to upload the 2 separately, and you only get 1 upload per employer. It's just with some of the back-end coding, that's the option that you have. There is a size limit, so just be aware of that. If for some reason, the size is too large and you're not able to do that, you can always just upload it in Cougar Pathway and let them know, I've uploaded my resume through Teams, but I've also sent you my cover letter through Cougar Pathway along with my resume. Please let me know if you have any questions. That's a really great question. All right, so we are almost at an hour and 1 minute, so we did good. Are there any other questions from our students? Any other comments from our staff at all? I think we're good. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and stop there. Thank you all so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. We hope you feel comfortable and ready and excited for Wednesday. I just want to thank our team. So Adalia, Donnell, Larissa, and Jamie, thank you all so much for joining today and for adding your advice and your feedback. We are so excited for this event, and we look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. Everybody have a great weekend, a great holiday weekend. Hopefully you're able to enjoy the weather and stay well. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Bye.
Caitlin, do you want to hit the stop record button?